Today's brief video, I want to share with you guys one key thing that people who have quit smoking weed all seem to have in common, and that has to do with the development of a routine and the ability to declutter their physical surroundings. Now, if you wind up enjoying the content in today's video, be sure to check out the pinned comment or the video description to learn more about our paid or free Addiction Mindset Recovery Coaching Program resources. When you first quit a substance, and I remember this after years of addiction to nicotine, THC, energy drinks, and adult media content, you're overwhelmed. Not only are you overwhelmed by the detox and the withdrawal process, but you're stopping a behavior that has in many ways become a habit loop. It's become second nature for you to repeat this behavior, right? Whether it's smoking weed, smoking cigarettes, chewing tobacco, playing video games, it doesn't matter. This behavior has become ingrained as part of your day-to-day routine. So when you stop, that's a very overwhelming experience. Now, for a lot of people who have successfully quit smoking weed or successfully changed their behaviors, they've implemented in new routines and new systems. And a lot of these routines are rooted in simplicity. So I want to share with you guys a simple routine that I used that helped me get sober and stay sober, that I still use to this day, that I've shared with a bunch of other people on this channel throughout our coaching programs. I like to break up my week into segments, and I like to have a really loose outline of my routine, because that way if I don't successfully complete a task on time or complete a portion of my routine, I'm not too hard on myself about it. So I like to focus on three key aspects of my routine. Aspect number one is motivation, aspect number two is education, and aspect number three has to do with action and implementation. So Monday and Tuesday, I tend to like to focus on motivational content, whether that's books or YouTube videos, it doesn't really matter, but the information that I'm consuming is kind of information that's meant to hype me up. It's self-help style content. I think in today's world, it's very easy to get down on oneself. I think it's very easy to get demotivated. Although I say you need discipline and determination to see something through, being motivated never hurt anyone. Midweek, I shift over to focusing on education. So midweek, I'm consuming content that's teaching me about something. I'm learning more about sobriety and recovery topics. I'm learning more about how to be better at YouTube. I'm learning more about how to grow my brick and mortar chiropractic business. I'm educating myself on a skill set that I can later, come Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, take action or implement into my day-to-day life, something that I can take action on. So that's kind of what my general routine looks like. It goes from motivation to education to action and implementation. So when I'm taking action steps, when I'm filming YouTube videos, when I'm editing YouTube videos, that tends to be in the end of the week. I'm hyping myself up to do the work in the beginning of the week, Monday and Tuesday, and midweek, maybe Wednesday and Thursday, I'm educating myself on the topics that I'm going to be speaking about or other aspects of my life that interest me. It doesn't always have to be work related. I could be educating myself more about a hobby or something like that. And this loose routine for me has served me very well in my sobriety and recovery process, because it gives me some level of direction when I wake up each day, Monday through Sunday, as to what it is I'm going to be trying to accomplish that given day. It also prevents me from burning out on either motivational content or educational content, or even the step of taking action. This routine has served me very well at not burning me out. Now, the other thing that I think a lot of people do when it comes to the development of a routine is they declutter. For anyone who's followed my channel, I talk about different hobbies of mine all the time that I have, but one of my major hobbies that actually I think has become a coping mechanism since quitting substances is cleaning. Cleaning I find very therapeutic, whether it's outdoor cleaning or indoor cleaning. Cleaning my house, decluttering my room, decluttering my car, keeping my workspace organized is a major coping mechanism, but it was also something that I did in my early sobriety process to help alleviate some of the chaos and disorder that was going on in my brain. I think across the board, when you look at most people who are successful, not all, but when you look at most, they tend to be very decluttered and they tend to be a bit more minimalist. The development of a routine and the ability to declutter and get organized, I think are crucial things for anyone who's new to quitting smoking weed or anyone who's new to the sobriety and recovery process. I know when we do one-on-one coaching calls with people, this development and implementation of a routine is a huge thing that we focus on. When you wake up and you finally make that decision to quit smoking weed, and it's day one and it's day two, and you find yourself sitting there and you're bored and you're not sure what direction to go in and you feel disorganized, it helps to wake up in a clean space with a plan. Oh, okay, it's Monday, and this is what the loose outline of my day looks like. It's the weekend, and this is what the loose outline of my weekend looks like. Something that I want to backtrack on when it comes to routines is my choice of taking action on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday versus doing motivation or education. Most of the world rests on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's the time to rest and relax, and that's exactly why I chose that time to take action. My weekends tended to be a little bit higher when it came to my substance use, whether it was drinking more, smoking more weed, whatever it was, consuming more nicotine, all the above, it didn't really matter, tended to happen on the weekends. So I wanted to keep my weekend routine a very, very stimulating process, a very, very stimulating style event. And that's why I chose to put the action steps on the weekend. And then usually come Monday, Tuesday, I'm feeling a little demotivated coming off of the high of the weekend. So that's why I chose to put the motivational, more self-help style consumption earlier in the week, and then education is sandwiched in between. That's why I came up with that routine. I'll say something else when it comes to routine as well. My routine is not super rigid. A lot of people, when they first quit, they'll come up with this super rigid routine of like, I'm going to go to the gym 5 days a week, and I'm going to eat these meals, and I'm going to prep these things, and I'm going to do this, I'm going to boom, 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 boom. And then what happens is, they get thrown off of their routine like day two, and then they become overwhelmed and they relapse because they didn't maintain that routine, and they wind up feeling like they failed. So I recommend developing a routine, but a loose routine, something that has general principles, general guidelines to follow, but not something that has to be followed super rigidly. Because I think if you're too rigid early on, you're going to wind up into trouble, you know? And let's be realistic, right? Like the last X amount of years of my life before I got sober, there was really no structure. There wasn't much to it. So when you first quit, you don't want to implement an overwhelming amount of structure because chances are that's going to backfire on you anyways. But if you're quitting smoking weed, if you're trying to break an addiction, I highly recommend decluttering your physical space, which is going to allow you to think more clearly mentally, and I highly recommend the implementation and development of a very loose routine. Now, if that's something that you need help with, you're more than welcome to check out our paid one-on-one addiction mindset recovery coaching programs, or download our free content. I have a 7-step guide on how to quit smoking weed today. That's an immediate download in the video description. I also have in the video description something called the High Performance Planner, which is a journal that I use when it comes to organizing my week and when it comes to organizing my routines. So check that stuff out. I'll see you in either the pinned comment or the video description. And let me know in the comments while you're at it. What's your routine going to look like? What things do you do to help you stay on this path of sobriety and recovery? I'd love to hear.